Hi everyone. In the previous video, while discussing the concept of deadlock, we see that the deadlock is occurred due to the unavailability or delaying of the resources. So resource is the main factor which responsible for the deadlock problem. Okay, and this resource may be, let's say, any resource, let's say hardware devices like printer, scanners, keyboard, mouse. All these are the resources of the computers, and operating system have the control over these resources, and operating system should responsible for allocating the resource to a different process. Let's say this resource is generally classified into two categories. One is the single instance resource, and other is multi instance resource. Single instance means for a particular resource, if it is a single instance, then only one process can use this resource at a time. Only one process can use resource at a time. Okay, but in case of multi-instance resource, many processes can use resource at the same time, or simultaneously, you can say. Okay, so resources are of two types. One is single instance and one is multi-instance. In single instance, only one process can use this resource at a time, and in case of multi-instance, many processes can use this resource at the same time. Let us take an example. Let's say we have three processes available in the ready state: process P1, process P2, and process P3. And each process P1, process P2, process P3 requires 2 units of resource R. Okay, so process P1 requires 2 units of resource R, process P2 requires 2 units of resource R. Similarly, process P3 requires 2 units of resource R to finish their execution. Then one question we will ask is, what is the minimum number of resource R which will be needed so that no deadlock will occur? So minimum number of R needed so that deadlock will not occur. So we have three processes. Let's say process P1, process P2, and process P3. Each process requires 2 units of. If we give them 2 units to each, then a deadlock will not occur. But here the main problem is, if we have not sufficient number of resources are available so that we can allocate the 2 units each, then in that case we have to test it whether we can give 1 units of resource R, or whether we can give 0 units of resource R to the 3 processes. Let's say if we have only 2 instances of this resource R, then we can give 1 instance to process P1 and 1 instance to process P2. In that case, deadlock will definitely occur. Okay, so in short form, I write deadlock as DL. And if we have 3 instances of resource R, then we will allocate one instance to the process P1, P2, P3. In that case also, deadlock will occur, because each process requires 2 units each. And let's say if we have 4 instances of resource are available, then in that case we will allocate 1 instance to process P1, 1 instance to process P2, and 1 instance to process P3. And now we will left 1 more instance, and this 1 instance can give to any of this process. it will give to either process P1 or process P2 or process P3. And if any of these three processes gets this one resource, then it will complete their execution, because each process requires 2 units of resource R, and after completing their execution of this any of the three process, it will give the resource to the other process. Similar, the other process will also complete their execution and it will give to the other process. So 4 instance of resource R is the minimum number of resources which are required so that no deadlock problem will occur. So 4, in case if you have 4 instance of resource R, then no deadlock will occur, and it is the minimum. Okay, so we need not require 6 unit of resource R, because if you combine the 3 processes by multiplying with 2, then exactly 6 resource instance of resource R is needed. But with the availability of 4 instance, we will completely eliminate the problem of deadlock. Okay. And if I ask what is the maximum number of resource R so that deadlock will occur, maximum number of R for deadlock occurring, then maximum number is 3. Okay, it is the 3 for which deadlock is occurred, so it is 3, and minimum number of R so that no deadlock will occur is 4. Okay, so such type of questions are also asked in GATE exams. Okay, so you have to be careful that. Okay, in the next video we will see try to solve some more questions related to the deadlock.